It's a nice night. I don't know if you guys can see it. That's Mars right there. Should be right around the center of your screen. Mars is currently in retrograde. The moon is waning. Mars is retrograde in Aries. I don't believe that astrology causes anything. People ask, is astrology useful? And I admit, I am quite the novice at astrology. People ask, do the stars cause anything? Do the planets' positions change anything? There's a lot of explanations. People will say, well, the energies of these planets and the houses that they're in have an effect on our lives. This is not how I see it at all. I don't believe for a moment that these things cause anything any more than I believe that my body, walking around in this darkness down here, cause the stars to do anything. My experience of them does create, but they would be independent of that experience, just as I would be independent of their experience. Humanity doesn't look at the stars anymore. Not really. Once upon a time, astrologers truly looked at the heavens and consult these star charts and had to consciously comprehend, consider, and question. And there he is again, Mars, the bringer of war. They would have to walk in the dark, sit in places high, and they would have to know the meaning of the lights in the sky one by one. But we today can't see hardly any of them anymore, can we? You can't even see what I see. The fact that you can see Mars at all is pretty impressive. There it is again. Mars, bringer of war. Of course, Mars, as a spiritual entity, is about a lot more than war. It's about conflict. It's about fertility. It's about conquest and achievement, contest. It's about courage and fear. Mars is the drive, the ambition to conquer. It rules Aries and is partnered with Pluto to rule Scorpio. On the 13th, in a few days, Mars is going to go direct again. And this means that the effect of the retrograde is going to be reversed. And it will take a little bit of time for that to fully shift. Currently in retrograde, everything is sort of going backwards. The courageous are feeling disheartened. Conquest is stagmired. Victory is fleeting. All is chaos. All is disarray. On the 13th, things are going to shift in a big way. Coinciding with this shift on the 13th, there will be a new moon on the 15th. So within days of the energy shifting from Mars, we'll have an energy shift from the moon. But what do I mean by an energy shift? What is actually changing? Do the stars cause? Do the planets cause? What if I were to tell you that the axiom of as above, so below applies here. In fact, it applies here much more strongly than we may realize at first, especially if you're a believer in these kinds of things. It is not the case that the stars cause. It is a case in which the stars are signs. The stars are parts of the fractal nature of reality, and they are an imperfect, very imperfect oracle. Judging the climate of the world's events or your own life based upon the positions of stars and planets is quite a bit like judging the future of the weather. Only to a point does it seem to have any real value. In very broad terms, very broad strokes. Because you see, the stars do not control, but they do guide. The stars do not command nor compel, but they do guide. Their guidance is one of selective attention. Their guidance is one of interpretation. This is why astrology tends to be such a broad subject. When someone gets an astrological reading, it is never precise. It never says, there it is again. It never says, this is how it will be precisely. It never says, on this day and time you will die. It never says anything specific. It only says that this is an auspicious time or an inauspicious time for this or that. And this is its greatest gift to a magician or to a sorcerer of any stripe or type. To do magic without attention to the celestial bodies will only get you so far. You must, of course, focus your intent and your energy on your own experience as an individual. That is the most important thing. But the stars show you the flow. If you were a Jedi, it would be like being able to read the Force, being able to feel the force of the world moving around you. And this is what the stars do. Recently, I came out here a few weeks ago, and I was talking to E.A. Coetting. Well, I was texting him anyway. And I sent him pictures of the stars. My camera actually could take pretty good pictures of them. And I said, the planets are streaking right now. That was about a month and a half ago, because they were. The sky was ablaze with incredible, incredible alignments, and it still will be. More is coming. We're not done yet. This year has been an incredible year for astrology. And I've picked a good year to begin my exploration of the subject in more earnest. So of course, I'm speaking as an authority about astrology, of which of course I am not. There are those who know far better than I do. But I would be a fool to discredit or to discount the value of this subject in the study of magic and spirituality. You have to know that these spheres in the sky, these points of light, they are the fractal pattern of reality. They are part of the fractal. And it is an age-old metaphysical truth, an axiom, that we can know the whole by knowing the part. That within each element, within each thing, within some things in our environment, the entire universe can be represented as a mirrored holographic image. Mars is not doing anything. It is a ball of dirt in the sky, just as we are. Just as you are part of that ball of dirt. And although there is, of course, spiritual and energetic connection between us all, Mars, the ball of dirt, is not going to decide anything in your life. But the fractal pattern is there. And the fractal pattern is not limiting. It does not cause. This is why when Mercury is retrograde, it does not necessarily mean you're going to have a bad time. But there will be a lot of bad times during Mercury retrograde. This connection means one of intuition and understanding. That is what it means. That is what it stands for. So mark the date. Friday the 13th, November 2020. There's going to be a big shift on or around that date. Mark my words. I don't know who it's going to favor. I know it'll favor me. I happen to be an Aries, for those of you who don't know. And I know you're going to get some people talking about sidereal versus tropical. That's fair. I'm not into the sidereal zodiac, mainly because when the system of astrology was first, I shouldn't even say first, when it was developing, it really didn't have to do with exactly where things were in the sky, because if we're going to be using sidereal for our zodiac, then of course some of the houses and positions and things, the number of degrees that we should associate with different signs should be different for each one, because quite frankly, they don't line up with the degrees spoken about. There would be a lot of differences. Certain signs would be a lot bigger than others in the significance they have in the world. And then again, maybe that would be accurate, right? Maybe. I prefer a balanced system personally. But maybe I'll change my mind. As I said, I'm still a novice at astrology. But to me, I think there's a lot more to astrology than what any book or table of significance or table of correspondence would ever tell you. Go outside. Go out in the dark, alone, and commune with the sky. Behold these stars. Taking what you've heard, what you might know, go out and look at them and ask them what they're telling the world right now. What is the message of Mars? What is the message of the coming new moon? Who is it going to favor, and how can you make it favor you? There is no such thing as an inauspicious time to do magic. There is, however, only auspicious times for certain things. Right now is a great time to attack your enemies. They're disorganized. They're in quagmires. They are weak. And soon will be a good time to bless those you wish to succeed, including yourself. This Friday, be aware of that in your magic. And be aware of it in the future. Study the signs, study the retrogrades, study these things and learn how these shifts carry great power, because a shift is a rebalancing. A shift is a return. A shift such as going from retrograde back into direct. There's a lot of energy that is pent up and is going to be released. And the same works in reverse when you're having a direct that goes into a retrograde. Be prepared. A lot of energy is going to be released, like a slingshot. Anyway, guys, I could make this video longer, but then I would only demonstrate how little I actually know about the subject. So I hope you find this interesting and useful. As usual, this is DH Thorne signing off, and I'll check you guys again soon. I hope you guys like these shorter form videos. I want to start doing a few more of these a week, because I feel like with everything that's going on in the world right now, for those of you who don't know, I'd be surprised, you must be living under a rock on Mars. With everything going on right now, I think it's time to take a break and go for a walk. Enjoy the world that is while it still is. because it doesn't last long. Anyway, guys, if you guys enjoy my content, please like, share, and subscribe. And of course, visit the description of this video for links to my products and things. I am completely self-employed. I am a content creator, professional, consulting sorcerer, and mystic. Your questions, your comments mean everything to me. Your support means everything to me. And by showing it, you ensure that I can keep doing this, at least as a full-time job. All right, guys, until next time, this is DH Thorne, signing off. Mind the shadows.